Well, the crane was built, we believe, on this site in 1864. It was sold to possibly the Great Western Railway, and it worked in the box wharf where it was loading stones from trolleys onto goods wagons. Later in its life, it moved into a quarry further up the Box Hill on the A4, what it is now, and it worked there until 1974-ish, and was rescued from there, and this is the interesting bit, by the local doctor in Box, and Dr. Davy. He put it in his back garden, and it was stood there. A lot of people passed it and saw it in the garden. I never did. I missed it for some reason. It must have been a road I'd never travelled up.
He had a very understanding wife by the side of it.
We've all got them. In 1984, he wanted it moved, and where he was selling up, I don't know. It was moved up to Hartham Park Quarry by David Pollard. David Pollard was a historian and quarry owner, and knew a lot about the quarrying industry, stone quarrying industry around Bath. He really researched it and wrote a wonderful book about it. He kept it there. He passed away a few years ago, but his widow inherited the crane, and she wanted to move it on because the quarry was let to a commercial company and they needed the space. I got to hear about it and got involved, went out with a very small group to look at it, and we rescued it from the quarry into my back garden, with my understanding.
What sort of a job had you taken on? I mean, what state was it in? What did you have to do? Where did you find the money to do it?
The money was donated by various people. We had the Association of Industrial Archaeology, the Bristol Industrial Archaeological Society, a few other people. Oh, one other important one is the Cotswold National Landscapes group. They gave us money. A couple of private individuals, people who knew the companies, Stothert and Pitt, perhaps their father had worked there, and also one person who knew, was interested in the building opposite us here, designed by Thomas Fuller,
which was part of the works here when Stothert and Pitt was active.
Well, they moved from the middle of town, to the Bath, into this end of the building. Quite an interesting design for its age, and that's where it stayed until 1984 when it moved out of here, and then finally closed in 1989. So yes.
What state was the crane in?
The crane was not. I mean, the castings and the ironwork were not that bad. The timbers were the big problem. They'd all rotted out. The jib was rotting, and there's a timber lower frame with rail wheels on it. That had completely failed. So we had to find more. We were purchased oak timbers this time. We couldn't get the original, was probably out. We had to rebuild them and start from scratch on those. And I had the jib. It's quite a piece of woodworking as well. We managed to get that supplied from a sawmill on the Mendips, and we went in. We saw the tree shipped into the mill, and then milled up to an octagonal shape, delivered to Southwick back in my back garden, and that's where we fitted the ends. Got a woodworking task, really very pleasurable, that part of it. I enjoyed that.
Peter, why do you and a lot of other people who helped recreate this crane think it's so important that it should end up on this site?
Well, I mean, Stothert and Pitt was a big employer in Bath. I mean, I think at one time there was well over 2,000 people. 450 people still worked here when it closed. A lot of very skilled people, craftsmen, men and women. Particularly through the Second World War, a lot of women employed in here, and it's come back as a tribute to those people, I feel, and it also shows Bath's engineering heritage, which is worldwide has worldwide importance.
Yeah, we tend to think Georgian terraces and Roman baths, but there was a complete other side to this city.
Well, yes, I mean, George Stothert started an ironmonger's business with iron products from Coalbrook down in the Georgian period. So he was supplying the building of Bath, buildings and various other things. He also supplied bridges for the Canadian Canal. So there is a link initially, but it grew to be a worldwide supplier of cranes and lots of other equipment, more than I could list.
And of course, this crane in its day was lifting the material that Bath was built of, Bath stone.
That's correct. It was in a stone quarry that supplied stone all over Bath, and that quarry still is supplying stone to Bath Restoration Works and other new builds as well. Yeah.
You've got the official unveiling coming up next month. How do you feel now that 4 years has come to a successful conclusion?
I feel quite pleased. I mean, I've helped take quite a few cranes out of here. Nice to put one back. Not many ever came back.
Yeah, we mustn't forget you worked here.
I worked here, yes, from 1970. I was an apprentice, and some of my family worked here as well. So it was in the blood.
Are you putting your feet up now? I hear rumours there's another project in mind.
I'm not going to put my feet up any time yet. I hope not. Yes, we have another Stothert and Pitt product, which is a concrete mixer that came from a Bath firm, well-known removal company, A.G. Workman, just off of Coronation Avenue. They bought it new in 1932 for £20. And they used it until fairly recently, and about 2 years ago they contacted the Bath at Work Museum. Would you like this? And the curator said yes, we'll have it. Of course, that meant it came to me, and that's in my garden now, being worked on. Should be finished late this year, I hope. So, yeah.
And that, of course, won't come here. That'll stay in the Museum of Bath at Work.
Yes, that will.
Stuart's got a fine room for it.
We've already got. I know where it's going.
Now, you've got the official unveiling next month, June. Is this open to the general public?
Yes, June the 20th at 11 o'clock. It's a Tuesday morning. We will hand it over officially from Nina Pollard, David Pollard's widow, to the City of Bath or Baines, or somebody from Baines. I think hopefully it'll be the leader of the council. We've asked them to come, and it's them belongs to the people of Bath. That's the important thing, I think, and it's here for all to see. Yeah.
Well,
anyone who wants to turn up on the 11th is welcome. The bigger the group, the better. And any old Stothert and Pitt employees, come and say hello again. If we remember you, remember us, and maybe even family. If your father worked here, come and see what I won't say he would have done, but older than that, yes.
That's a lovely idea. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the chance to publicise it a little bit, and it looks really splendid on a nice sunny morning.
It does indeed.